I understand that you have encountered some real prejudice because of this whole thing with, calling it the Chinese flu and whatnot.
Well, it's a tough time for all Americans, but I will say that I think for Asian Americans, the crisis is being compounded by a sense that many people look at us in public and say, maybe they don't say it, maybe they think it, maybe they don't think it, but there are a lot of associations with this virus and coming from China, and most people visually can't discern between Chinese Americans, Korean Americans, Japanese Americans, et cetera, et cetera. So for Asian Americans, it's tough because there's a higher level of racial hostility and animosity. And on some level, it's understandable because you're seeing people's way of life getting devastated by this virus. And it's very natural to look around and say, well, I need to blame someone for this. I need to put this on someone. And it's also true that the Chinese government screwed up in a way that made it harder for the rest of the world to prepare for this virus. But certainly Asian Americans are just like anyone else, where we're just getting sent to our homes, and it's being compounded by the fact that there's a sense that many Americans are looking for someone to blame, and it's coming to our doorstep. So it's a really tough time for many Asian Americans right now. And I have many friends who are sending me heartbreaking stories that either they've experienced or that are in the news.
We were talking earlier about a strategy of shifting the blame onto China because of the coronavirus outbreak. And former presidential candidate Andrew Yang is countering this and the impact of the pandemic that it's having on minorities. He launched this all-American movement thing. Take a look at it. It's amazing.
We're talking about racially motivated crimes inspired by fear over the coronavirus.
A person of Asian ancestry is not the cause of COVID-19.
We don't have the virus more than anyone else.
And all Americans are susceptible.
Every one of us, no matter who we are.
And we know it's disproportionately affecting African Americans, as well as all of our underserved communities.
So lose the bigotry, ignorance,
Finger pointing and assaults.
we're all in this together.
We are all Americans.
So let's act like it. Let's be good friends, let's be good neighbors, and let's get through this safely. Much love.
So we're saying if anyone is a victim of any type of violence out there, please call the police and let them know what's going on. Because we are all Americans, and these diseases don't have names. We don't know where they start. I mean, it's just crazy. So I think it's great that he's put this out because a lot of folks in the Asian community, are being targeted.
Whoopi,
And we'll be
can
right
I
back.
say something quickly? Oh, okay.
Sure. No?
I was just going to say that
yes.
I read that the Spanish flu started in Kansas. Okay? The Spanish flu started in Kansas. The only reason they called it the Spanish flu was because the Spanish were the only ones who actually put the word out and were actually saying there is this flu. So they called it the Spanish flu, but it came out of America. Just saying.
I mean, so many, these diseases come from everywhere, and we can't point fingers about them. We're all, again, it's not an American flu, a Spanish flu, it's an Asian flu. It's none of those things. It's the coronavirus. That's what it is. We'll be right back.